Hey y'all, hey. I'm trying to it didn't go live on there it go. It didn't go live on Twitter, so I had to go ahead. Let me start my timer over again, y'all. Give y'all a little music while I'm waiting. Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to Tootie Talk Sense. Come on in here, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the all button so you can hear. Wait, I'm getting an echo, so you can get all notifications for when I go live, y'all. How was y'all weekend? Is everybody sober yet from 420 from yesterday? Are we all sober? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Let me just break down what we're talking about today. Of course, another P Diddy allegations. It's nonstop. He just don't stop. Won't stop. Don't stop. That's P Diddy. Like it's out of control. And then GLOrilla got arrested for DUI. NBA Youngboy got arrested. Now when the P Diddy the new allegations is that he was with Carl Winslow for Family Matter. Also, somebody else did an interview, and when he was asked about P. Diddy parties, he ended up bringing up Dwight Howard. So, the NBA, well, ex-NBA player. So we're going to talk about that. And I know everybody been hearing that Chris Brown diss track against Quavo, baby. When I said, clutch my pearls, baby, what he went in on Quavo. So then we're going to talk about Chris Brown diss track. And last, what I say for last is Jarrod Carmichael. My last video, I talked about him and his comment that he made about his white boyfriend and how he feel like a slave because his white boyfriend reads so much. And it's like, oh, yes, sir, master, could you teach me how to read? So that was the joke. So he was given Donkey of the Day. He came to the Breakfast Club, and we're going to talk about that whole interview. Now, I'm going to save that for last because that one is the one I read out with all the notes. I have written out with all the notes. So that one's going to take the longest, y'all. Y'all, come on, get in these comments, and let's discuss this, right? Let's discuss what's first. First is the Carl Winslow. I heard this. I said, now, y'all got to be kidding me. So the man, he made it viral. The guy, I can't even think of his name. He made it viral not that long ago because he said Shawnee, who is Shaq's ex-wife, he said Shawnee was paying him money and stuff to mess around with her. And last time he was with her, she was like, I need some of that good eggplant before I get married. So that's the story. Now that's who he is. Now I'm going to show y'all the video of what he said with P. Diddy and Carl Winslow, y'all. Let's see.
When Diddy fell for Carl Winslow, we was at the party, and me
messed up my childhood when he told me that.
So I hear niggas just wearing out some shit. I'm like, huh? Like hearing that, I'm like, on 6-0, who's wearing this bitch out? Right. Kicking the door, boom.
This is real.
I seen Carl Winslow put
his
head
that's the father. Ain't that the father
from
Family Matters?
Yeah.
Leave a comment,
way.
man.
And then,
so who's piping Carl? Diddy?
Yeah, Diddy was.
So that's that allegation. That one's not a lawsuit. It's just this guy saying that happened. Now I have seen other people report that it was known that Carl, and that is not that man's name. That's the character. Ain't nobody calling him by his real name. Everybody keeps saying Carl Winslow. I had just said his name. Let me see. Let me see what's his real name. Because I had put in Reginald Bell Johnson. That's his real name. So now that's what the guy's alleging. He heard a comment and he thinking he finna open the door and bust in on a man with a woman. But it ended up being, P. Diddy saying take that to Carl. That's what he said to Reginald. Now I haven't seen a couple of YouTubers report on this story, and they all had said that it's known that Carl was in the community, that he was gay. So I was like, I ain't know that, but I'll be up on a lot of stars' personal life. So I looked it up, and the only article that I ran across was one from the medium.com, and it was saying that Carl is not gay. That it's alleged that he was gay. People say that because he never married, and I don't know if he had kids, and he never talked about his dating life. His dating life was never made public. But according to that source, the man not gay, and that's not something that he said, or that's not in any interview or anything that I could find. So I don't know if that's just Hollywood rumors or if that's a legit thing. Yeah. So that's Carl. That's Carl back on Family Matters. That's him now. I believe he's like in his 70s right now, like early 70s right now. So now y'all know that's the Dwight Howard. So along with this allegation, there was another bodyguard. Let me see if I could. There was another bodyguard by the name of Big Homie who did an interview on I think it was Cameron. Let me see what website this is. But he did an interview. He was like bodyguard to the stars back when he was bodyguard. But he did an interview and he said that the Dwight Howard, because they asking him, they asked him about the Diddy parties. So what he said he saw in the Diddy parties was the Dwight Howard with transsexuals. Now, and let me go and look this up real quick too. Now y'all can watch the full video. I'm just showing it to y'all real quick. The full video that I did about Dwight Howard. Now Dwight Howard has allegations against him where this guy alleged he met Dwight Howard online. And he's a gay man, black gay man. Said he met Dwight Howard online. Him and Dwight Howard was exchanging messages. They were supposed to be meeting up. So Dwight Howard had asked him about having a threesome. And he was just like, well, it depends on who it is, blah, blah, blah. He on the way to the Dwight Howard house. And the husband just him and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard surprised him with this trans woman. But the trans woman was an older woman. He talked about her, talking about her. He wouldn't dare mess with nobody that old with a wig like that. Now she had on little kitten pumps, little kitten heels, and her name was Kitty. And so when he get there, and him and the Dwight Howard been to start messing around, Kitty then walked out the back, and Kitty then joined up into the little party, and he wasn't down for it, but he felt like he was forced to be down for it. So he said Kitty was giving it to Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard was giving him fellatio. It's the term that I'm hoping YouTube ain't gonna strike. Now, that is the claim. That is the lawsuit. Now, recently, I didn't do an update to this, but when I was searching to talk about it, Dwight Howard had took him back to court February of this year to try to get the lawsuit throughout, and because he said he got text messages that show it was all consensual, and the judge ruled against him. The judge chose to continue on with the case. Dwight Howard, the guy did go to the police. He did file charges, but then he didn't show up to pursue the charges, so nothing was filed against Dwight Howard. As far as from the police, from the law end of it, nothing was filed against him. And the police said they just got the charges like suspended because, he got to come in and pursue them in order to, I guess, for the police to move forward. Now, let me see if I can find it real quick. Because I know I already did. I don't know what month that was on. Because the baby Dwight Howard was all in the news, and then he ended up saying, "Here it is." It was 5 months ago when I did the YouTube video about it, because Dwight Howard ended up saying he ended up coming out like, yeah, everything that boy said happened as far as him meeting up, him with the trans, him with and them getting down together. Let's see. Let me see. I'm
So
not
that's
gonna
the
be on
video.
too long today. I'm just gonna do to the subject and then get out of
So
here.
if I want to, because
because
that's 33 minutes. So I already covered all that. That's 33 minutes. It say NBA player Dwight Howard admit activity with men and men dresses as women. So that's the video. If y'all want to go watch it, I already did a recording on that. But that's the. I'm just giving y'all a summary of what that lawsuit was about. So Dwight Howard did say that the stuff happened. It was the trans woman. It was him, and it was with the gay man. And the gay man is saying, but Dwight Howard like, yeah, I'm a man of business. Don't worry about it. I'm gay. You know, he admitted that it happened. Now, it also, when he filed this lawsuit, a previous lawsuit against Dwight Howard had came up, and that's who this picture is. This was the previous lawsuit. That's a man. I don't know if he goes now as a trans woman, the one that's on the picture with Dwight, and I don't know if he identifies as a woman. I know his profile he's wearing women clothes, so I don't deal with the misgendering people. Okay, y'all ain't finna get me. So I think his name was Machin, but I discussed that too in the previous video. Before this last lawsuit, he had previous years ago filed a lawsuit against the Dwight Howard about harassment, sexual harassment, and things like that because he was in a whole relationship, according to him, allegedly, he was in a whole relationship with the Dwight Howard, and things like start happening in a relationship. Let me put up my allegedly banner. Where is my allegedly? There it is, allegedly. Now, there's a previous lawsuit. The lawsuit got settled. But once this happened, once he got this new lawsuit, these name right, and the other one, Elijah, they're now friends on social media and start talking back and forth. So let's see what I'll give y'all an update when it happened. So anyway, the bodyguard big homie had an interview, and he was saying in his interview, they was asking him about P. Diddy parties. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Let me show y'all the interview. When they asking him about what he seen in P. Diddy parties, this is what he said. He started talking about he seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress at one of P. Diddy parties. This is what he see.
I've been saying for years, bro. I've been saying it for years. Like, man, these boys are weird. You feel me? Like, you will go to a party with them, and you looking around like, damn, like, a lot of guys kissing each other in here, man. You feel me? What y'all do is y'all business.
So you've been to a party and seen this?
Oh, I've seen it firsthand, multiple times.
Man.
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress, bro.
What?
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress with two other trans ladies in dresses. They all the same height at a Diddy party.
Oh.
Ask about Dwight Howard in Mexico.
What's up with Dwight Howard in Mexico?
You know, they don't got paparazzi out there like that. You feel me? They was down there hooping. He going to the club with these same trans ladies. Nobody saying nothing. That's why he not in the league right now. You heard about him catching the sexual assault on the little designer dude?
Yep.
Right.
That's who we talking about. The designer dude is the one who's in the picture that I just showed you.
Right. Him. Imagine you got two 7-foot-tall, swole guys in dresses, cornering you in a hotel in a bedroom. You finna be scared. Facts. So like,
So that interview is an hour and 21 minutes, y'all. So he ended up saying that interview he never seen P. Diddy with a guy. He seen them holding hands, like hands in a clutch with two different males, but he never seen any eggplant or anything males with P. Diddy. So that y'all Cam Capone News is the YouTube page, and this guy it's a funny interview because he's talking. I'm like, he must be from the Shack because he's saying stuff like fam, phony on, like, y'all know how we talk. In a way, I don't know if y'all watch these skits. It could be like Chicago be like, and it's the guy that he sounds just like the guy. I'm like, he must be from the South Side of Chicago because I'm fam, like, for real. I was like, yeah, that sounds sad. But I watched the interview. He did end up saying he's from the South Side of Chicago. So, hey, Chi-Town.
And we ignorant like that, y'all. We make everything a doggone joke. Now, let's talk about him. NBA Youngboy. Now y'all know he was already. Let me see if I can find the article so I can pull up the article. He was already on. I want to say he was out on bond. He already had charges, and he from in Louisiana, but he went over to say this Iowa. My summary. He went over to Iowa because he said to get out that circumstance. He had this mentor who was supposed to be like mentoring him, and it'd be better if he was over in that state instead of in Louisiana where he was facing the charges at. Now he didn't get arrested for they said fake prescriptions. Let me show y'all this article. So this is from ky3.com. It looks like the news station. So judge ordered NBA Youngboy to be taken into federal custody following rapper's arrest. And when was this? This was yesterday. So from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a federal judge in Louisiana signed a request from federal prosecutors to schedule a bond revocation hearing for rapper NBA Youngboy after he was arrested on 63 charges in Utah. I said Iowa, so that's a correction. He was in Utah. I'm like, it's one of them, country. I ain't gonna say nothing about Utah. I don't know who may be watching, but one of them states. So Shelley Dick, chief judge for the Middle District of Louisiana, ordered federal agents to take NBA Youngboy, whose real name is Contrell Gordon, into federal custody and hold him until a bond revocation hearing is scheduled. The judge agreed with prosecutor that Youngboy violated the terms of his pre-trial release. She could order that he be held into his trial. Youngboy was allowed to live in Utah on house arrest ahead of a trial in Baton Rouge on firearm charges. He was arrested in 2020 at a music award video shoot in Baton Rouge area after police raided the scene and rounded up 16 people, including Youngboy. Investigator in Cache County, Utah, said the rapper and others were then caught contacting pharmacies across the state to fill phony prescriptions. According to court records, Youngboy and others used phony prescriptions to obtain various prescription drugs, including promethazine and codeine. The county sheriff alleged that Youngboy with 63 counts of various charges related to his alleged crime. Youngboy attorney did not immediately respond to requests for comments. I know he ain't. I know his attorney said, now all that hard work I done did to get your butt over here in Utah and out of the trenches of Louisiana, and you done went and found something new to do. But hey, he paying him. He keeping his attorney busy, okay? So that's what happened. He got arrested in Utah, and because he got arrested, he was already out on the pre-trial from the cases in Louisiana. They allowed him to go to Utah. But now he didn't get arrested in Utah, so the judge, a federal judge, signed that they're gonna arrest him and probably bring him back to Louisiana because he violated the terms of the pre-trial release. Now let's see who are y'all. GLOrilla didn't get arrested, and I like GLOrilla, especially the song just came out. Yeah, Glo. So I'm looking like what GLOrilla did? What she done did? So they said she was arrested for the DUI. So I was like, I can't wait till this video come out because I wonder was she actually, under the influence. But when you watch the video, it does not look like don't look like she was under the influence. Look like GLOrilla was being her usual self. She'd be joking, making jokes, laughing and stuff like that. And it looks like she passed. They said the video is 30 minutes long. Yeah, because the video, I think it's Law and Crime who has the video up. And the video is the whole 30 minutes. It's from the time that the police pull up until, excuse me, this is a commercial thing. I'm trying to skip it and get to it. But it's 33 minutes and 12 seconds. But it's from the time that the police officer pulled her over until they handcuffed her. Now, this is the shady part of the video because after she takes the 3 tests, they was like, we're going to give you 3 tests to see whether or not you're drunk. and looks like she passed the field sobriety test. Look like she passed them, right? And so after that, they go. The lady who's doing the stop, she had called another officer there. They go to the car, mute the body cam, so you can't hear what they're saying. Then they go back and arrest her. So let me see. I think it's around 8 minutes. 8 minutes when she asks them. She's the lady talking to her and everything. She asks the lady, "You know who I am?" Yeah.
I think that's you want to see it. No.
So this is Law and Crime. Is the name of this YouTube channel, and it's the whole 33 minutes there. I'm just gonna go over a couple of parts with you.
Okay. I'll get it in just a moment. Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing like it. I'm not jumping.
Okay. Well,
do you know who I am?
No, I don't. No, no.
Oh.
You said an opening. I don't. An opening where?
No, it's called the club. It's called Open.
So then after this, the lady tried to get her to tell her. We ain't gonna go through all of it. The lady tried to get her to tell her who she is, and GLOrilla like, no, because you don't know who I am. Then she do tell her like, oh, I'm on your TV, and she's like, well, I don't know you. And then she want to figure out who she is. GLOrilla like, I ain't answering the questions because it's not gonna make me any sense to tell you who I am, like, because it's not gonna stop you from doing what you're doing, and it ain't gonna stop this process. So there's no point of me telling you who I am. So then the next part that I found like GLOrilla just being GLOrilla, where the lady may take it as part of intoxication. She said, "Do I look cool?" I was like, "Wait, what?"
See in this car.
If your camera comes, do I look cute for your camera?
Do I look cool for your camera? Do I look cool?
Unless I do this. No.
So then around 16 minutes is when the lady starts with the test.
And I want you to stand still.
Okay.
And I want you to look at the tip of my finger with your eyes and your eyes only. Okay. Don't move your head. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now this lasts for about 2 minutes. This is the part of the test where she's telling her to follow her hand. She got the flashlight in. I said I wouldn't be able to do that, but if you flashing that flashlight in my face, I'm gonna be like, but it doesn't look like that's what GLOrilla. It looks like she passed, but since the thing is like not showing her eyes directly on, you can't really tell. But don't look like she wobbling or doing that while the lady doing the test. So then it's around 18 minutes when the lady got the flashlight shined to her eyes. She like, I have pretty eyes. You see them? I got some pretty green eyes. You see them? Yeah, it's around 18 minutes. Let's see if I can find it for y'all.
Lens in my eyes. It's trying to blind it.
Look at the tip of my finger once more. Okay. Keep your head still.
I gotta go. I got pretty green eyes. You see them?
So then she continued on her test.
So that is the first evaluation.
You see?
So we'll do
That's
the next
the end
one.
of the test. Then she goes to do the next one where she tried to explain the rules to her. I was like, she sounded a little
first one or
confused.
the second?
Explaining the rules, but
What's the difference between a service animal and an emotional support?
she go and explain.
Well, a service animal has to go through.
Second part of the test.
It's okay. You're going to turn back around, and then you're going to continue. 1, 2, 3, so on, so forth.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy, and some people think that's strange. The thing is, though, therapists are human beings. Just
Evaluation, okay? You start whenever you want to.
1, 2, 3, 4,
so we've got one more, okay?
Okay, so that's the second test. She done went through 2, so the lady told her she'll give her 3 tests to see whether or not she passed. So that's the second test. Then she go on to the third test, which is the standing on one leg.
Pick a foot, whatever foot. Okay. Raise your foot 6 inches. Okay. Hands by your side. Keep them both straight. And count out loud. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
All right. You can stop.
Okay, so that's the third test. After that, she's supposed to have let her go home, right? She passed all 3 tests. So then around what they talking about with Glow, her boobies had popped out. She didn't even know her boob was out. I'm like, that don't mean nothing. That's why didn't Glow get a did she get a boob job or not? I done heard some people, y'all put in the comments if she got a boob job. I heard some people say she had got a boob job. And this before I watched the video. I you know, the trending headline was that Glow's tit had popped out during this traffic stop. And I'm like, if those are new titties, back these ain't. See, I'm born with these. See, they sometimes they got a man on their own. You got to talk to them. Like, hey, don't you ask for food tonight? Stay where you supposed to be, okay? All right, we finna go out here. We finna be calm. You stay down, because sometimes they be want to go. Okay, so if those some new titties, she probably didn't even know. I don't know how sensitive them nipple seals when you get them new titties. She probably didn't feel that breeze up on there. But her boob do pop out, and the lady's like, "Oh," she was like, "Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you for catching that." Let me see.
You would like to refuse, ma'am, your cover up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So do me a favor to sit right here for me, okay?
And then it's 26 where they go back. Now that's her. The guy. It's muted. They muted their cameras while they talking, so we don't know what they was talking about and what happened that they end up going to arrest her for a DUI. Because it seems like she passed her the test. Of course, I'm not there. I don't know what they're looking at. She didn't seem to be shaky. She seemed to be coherent. Didn't seem to be slurring her words. She was walking in a straight line. She held her legs up without shaking, without putting it down for the amount of time. Now,
all right, ma'am.
Okay. Let me pause it. So now the lady at the beginning of the thing when she come letting down the windows, GLOrilla do tell her it's firearms and there one in the back seat. She was like, "Well, I smell liquor and marijuana on your breath." So she asked Glo how much she had to drink. She refused to answer. She like, "I'm good. I'm all right." She said, "Won't catch me up." And so this is the part. So after she did the 3 tests, then they trying to do a breathalyzer on it, and she refusing the breathalyzer. So what we at?
Turn around for me.
What are we doing?
Turn around for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this.
That doesn't change anything. You still are going to be arrested.
Well, what? Okay. You don't have any proof on me.
And she said she's gonna take the test because after she did the first 3 tests, and it seems like she passed. They tried to ask her to take a breathalyzer, and she's like, "No, for what?" And the lady she was like, "What is this? You want me to take another test? I just passed them 3 tests. You want me to take another test?" And the lady's like, "Yeah, but we'll tell you why afterwards." She's like, "No, explain to me what's gonna go on, what's going on before I do it."
No, ma'am, I do. Okay.
What's your proof?
So the evaluations that we do, they check it checks all kinds of things, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what determines if you were a DUI. And now, whether you do the blood test or not, now that is voluntary. You can still, if you wish to do it, we will.
No, did the other test determine that I'm drunk?
Ma'am?
Did the test determine it?
Yes, ma'am. The evaluations are stating that you are over the legal limit to be driving right now.
Where the proof is? I just passed everything. I did everything you told me.
There. I mean, it's to you. You may think that you passed, okay? But I'm not going to bicker with you right now. So, are you wanting to do?
See, that's what she's telling her. She said, "Where's the proof?" She said, "The 3 tests you just did, and glow like I passed them." She was like, "Well, no." And those tests are subjective to whatever the police officer says. So that's why she say, "Oh, well, you think you passed, but she don't think she passed." And at the end of the day, the police officer is the one who makes the decision at that time.
Do the breathalyzer?
What's that gonna change?
Nothing.
So I'm gonna go to jail either way.
As of right now, yes, ma'am.
But
the portable breath test that she is offering right now is a roadside breath test. It's not admissible in court. They'll just give us a determination based off of that.
So what happened? She said, "Okay, a breathalyzer, glow lighter. Is that gonna change anything?" The lady said, "No." So she was like, "So why would I take it?" So that in the office of the other officer stepped in and said, "Oh, it's a test that it's not admissible in court, but it just helps us determine whether or not you drunk." I would have denied that shit to no. Them other 3 tests didn't help you determine. You ain't finna get no breathalyzer because now it seems like you're looking for a reason to lock me up. Because if them other 3 tests said that according to you, she didn't pass the other 3 tests, then go ahead and just lock up. What we doing another test for? But y'all, I said this tape didn't drop, and I'm like, I don't know. Glow may I'm quite sure Glow gonna fight that up in court and probably end up looking, from my eyes, look like she'll win it. She fight it in court because it didn't appear that she was intoxicated. But I know y'all done heard this Chris Brown diss track, right? So I was like, when did Chris Brown and Quavo get into it? Like, what all did it stand for? I remember some with his ex, Karachi. Is that how you pronounce that girl name? Karachi. And Quavo was supposed to have dipped off with Karachi. So I'm thinking it was just over exes. So I'm looking like, what they got to do with anything? Chris Brown need to let it go if it's his ex. Now, I'm gonna read y'all the article that's gonna break down the whole little beef thing, so I won't be repeating myself. And then I'm quite sure y'all heard the song. So, oh wait, that ain't the right page. Let me get to it. Okay, what's going on with this thing now? And this is from, where's this from? Oh, the direct.com. And so it said, why Chris Brown and Quavo beefing, diss track explained. Now, Chris Brown and Migo rapper Quavo have been at odds for several years and recently saw some fresh development in the music scene. The beef between rapper sensation against rap sensation. I thought Chris Brown was an R&B artist, but that's what they wrote. I'm reading what they wrote. The beef between rap sensation Chris Brown and Quavo has been a hot topic once after the former dropped his Weakest Link diss track on April 20th, which was yesterday. Where did the beef start? Chris Brown dated American socialite actress Karrueche Tran from November 2010 to March of 2015, including a breakup in the middle. During that time, the single rekindled his relationship with pop sensation Rihanna. I said, don't be throwing Rihanna up in here. Rihanna ain't got nothing to do with this. Rihanna over there with her husband, kids. Like, now why they brought me up in here? But Quavo and Tran had been pictured together many times over the years, with rumor that the two were dating going back as far as 2017. TMZ stated in April 2017 that the pair had been on multiple dates after starting out as just friends. According to an article from TMZ, Brown felt betrayed that Quavo had started seeing his ex-girlfriend, as the pair had both a business and professional relationship. The pair worked together on a number of songs, including Whippin', Just for Tonight, Leanin', and more, with Brown having seemingly helped promote the Migos 2017 album Culture, while Quavo was secretly dating his ex-girlfriend. So they like Chris Brown felt slighted because he out here helping you, and you up here screwing his ex-girl behind his back and without telling him. That's what he said. That's probably why he had the song, These Ain't Loyal. I mean, Your brothers ain't either, according to this article. That ain't what I see. The pair worked together. Oh, I already read that. In a March 2017 interview with Billboard, just before the beef began, Brown praised all the Amigos as real friends and brothers before vowing to never hate on them. And this is a quote. I just want to shout out y'all. Y'all my real friends and brother. I brought y'all albums 3 times. I spent my own money in and shit. I'm proud of you, ninjas. I would never hate on you, ninjas. That's what Chris Brown had said. But that's before he knew he was screwing his ex-girlfriend. Karrueche Trend took out a restraining order against Chris Brown in February 2017, according to TMZ. Around the same time, her relationship with Quavo began. She claimed the artist had been violent towards her in the past and made unaliving threats. Many have speculated the fresh relationship between Karrueche and Quavo may have spawned the restraining order to allow them to date without issues. That'd be petty if that's why she did that. Just so you could date his friend. I don't know if that's what happened. That's what's being reported. Since then, Brown and Quavo have seemingly never been on good terms, with the beef reuniting lately when the two fired shots at each other on recent tracks. On Brown's song Freak, released on April 10th, as part of his 11/11 deluxe album, he mentioned Quavo. He said F his old B, and just one day later on the song Tender, the Amigo rapper appeared to fire back with disses on his breakup with Trend and Brown history of domestic violence. So Chris Brown this Quavo on Weakest Link. You the weakest link after click. Let's keep it 100 in word. That's what they put up there. The song name Weakest Link is addressed early as Brown dubbed Quavo as the weakest link after click. The clique in question is the rap trio of Amigos that was cousins Quavo and Offset, their nephew Takeoff. The Amigos were active as a trio from 2008 to 2013 to 2023. The group came to the end with the death of Takeoff after he was shot at a party in Texas in November 2022. The history of the exes. You F my ex-hoe. That's cool. I don't give a F, little ninja. You still because I F your ex when you was still with her. B, I'm up, little N-word. That's lyrics from Chris Brown, Weakest Link, that he dropped yesterday. So Chris Brown had never exactly taken kindly to Quavo dating his ex. On his recent song Freak with Joyner, Lucas, Lil Wayne, and T, Brown rapped on F his old B, he ain't going to make us equal, before name dropping Quavo group, the Amigos. Okay, now F my old B ain't going to make us equal. Sipping that 1942, because I don't do Quavo. FB's, she's like Casa Amigo, not Migos. On Weakest League, Chris Brown mentioned how Quavo F his ex-hoe, but he doesn't care. Now, involving Saweetie, y'all. That's Saweetie. This is Chris Brown ex. Saweetie is Quavo ex. So it was alleged that first Chris Brown was with Karrueche, and I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but he was with her first. Then once they broke up, like it seems like 2 years later, that Quavo, who's supposed to be Chris Brown's friend, started messing with his ex-girlfriend behind his back while Chris Brown was out there helping them promote their album. Quavo allegedly was messing with his ex. Chris Brown was mad, felt slighted. That's what it seems like the beef started. Then, kind of recent, is saying that, go back. That Saweetie, the rapper Saweetie, was with Quavo. Chris Brown is alleged to have been with her. Now, this is involving Saweetie. They say revenge is sweet. Revenge is sweet. Now, that's all that shit. But don't let that line go over your head. I must sing about that. I had her feeling about the eggplant. There's something sweet about that shit. I get some tea up that bitch, but I ain't gonna speak about that shit. You see how I said it's sweet and then tea, sweet tea? That's why they're alleging that is about. Besides, he said sweet maybe 3 times. That's about Saweetie. So Quavo dated the tap-in rapper for 3 years until they separated in March of 2021. Chris Brown appears to imply Saweetie was the ex of Quavo's who he slept with during their relationship and saying revenge is sweet. Don't let that line go over your head. Brown goes on to claim he had some tea up that which he won't reveal, leading many to question what secret Saweetie maybe had. Now, I didn't put this in here, but maybe I could find it. Because what Saweetie did was she posted on, Twitter, which was formal Twitter, and she posted Tay Babe and said, "Let me rewrite my verse for her song that she had once this dropped." Let me see if I can find it real quick for y'all before I continue on. No, because I did not sign up. I'm not signed in. Response. See Chris Brown. Let me see. I'm trying to see if they got the post up. But they ain't got the post up. But she pretty much did y'all know Tim Babe, the comedian. He had the heavier set guy wear wigs. And so she just posted a picture with him, and she was like, "Let me go rewrite my verse." The last song she just dropped, pretty much talking about how good her stuff is. So she was like, "Let me go." She officially dropped it. She's been dropping like clips for the song, but I don't think she dropped the entire song yet. So she said she tweeted, "Let me go rewrite my verse." So I'm like, "Oh, she might be coming up in here. She may not. We'll see." Now he talked about the abuse allegations. He said, "Stop talking about beating girls. You was beating girls on the elevator. We've seen the tape. That's devastating." Chris Brown had a long and public history of violence towards women, with the most famous case coming in 2009, arrest for assaulting ex-girlfriend Rihanna, for which he later pled guilty and avoided jail time. On his recent track, Tender, Quavo seemingly called out Brown for his violence towards women in the line, "Don't beat her up. You did the girl wrong, and now the girl gone. She posted with a thug. Call the girl phone. She won't come home. Don't beat her up. You must be the drugs. Need to cross out your plugs." Yeah. So that's what Quavo had wrote about Chris Brown. So Brown fired his own domestic violence related shot back at Quavo on Weakest Leak and saying, "You beating up girls on the elevator." This comes in reference to the 22 video of Quavo and Saweetie in the elevator during a relationship in which a physical scuffle broke out. Now, what happened in Chris Brown's song? He talked about Fashion Week. So Fashion Week, this is what Chris Brown say. "Fashion Week, they set me next to your lame ass. I was truly mad. All I kept thinking about was breaking your face, but I gave you a pass. You lucky you ain't want to fuck up the money, boy. I would have broke you in half." That's what he said. After having had public beef, Chris Brown and Quavo was pictured together, seated side by side at the Paris fashion show in January of 2024. Naturally, this led to many speculate the issues between them have been squashed. However, Brown quickly shut down those theories by replying to a video of them seated together on Instagram. I don't know what my dog barking about. See if my cat didn't get up in there. Stating, "Can't pick who you sit by." So on the diss on the Weakest Link, Brown revealed the desire he had to attack Quavo at Fashion Week event, but noted how he held back. So Takeoff, death. R.I.P. Takeoff. He's the only real one that got true respect. Crazy how when he died, everybody really wished it was you. I said, oh my God. Chris Brown went as far as to involve the death of Takeoff, the nephew and Migos, fellow Migo, the nephew of Quavo. I don't know why they wrote it like that. He's the nephew of Quavo, and he also was on Migo. He passed away November 1st of 2022. The rapper was killed in a shooting in Texas outside of a private party at a bowling alley. In a diss, Brown dubbed Takeoff as the only real one for which he was true respect, before going on to say everybody wish it was Quavo, who been the one who was unalive instead. Perhaps the track most devastating. That thing. And I think the song is only, let me see. I think the song is only like 2 minutes or something like that. But I ain't into rap and hip hop like that. But I was like, yeah, damn. Well, I heard it. I said, yeah, he said, what about what? Jesus. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick and see if they'll let it play out striking my chest. Let's see.
No smoke. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to.
Who want smoke with me? Okay, let's get down to the facts. Pussy, I'm dripping red. Don't let this R&B shit fool you niggas get ripped to shreds. Quavo talking like he a thug, nigga, you a bitch with dread. Can't wait to see the day that you back up all of that shit you said. What's all that bullshit you talking? You ain't no huncho, nigga. You the weakest link out of your clique, let's keep it a hundo, nigga. You fuck my ex-hoe, that's cool, I don't give no fuck, little nigga. Cause I fucked your ex when you was still with a bitch, I'm up, little nigga. They say revenge is sweet. Now think about that shit, don't let that line go over your head. I might just sing about that shit. I had a feeling about that dick, there's something sweet about that shit. I got some tea about that bitch, but I ain't gonna speak about that shit. I ain't playing chess with a checker player. I'm a ticking bomb on a detonator. I shit on niggas, I'm a defecator. I put Amigo on a ventilator. Stop talking about beating girls. You was beating bitches on the elevator. We seen the taste, that's devastating. You doing bad. You a bitch and your music trash. Fashion week, they set me next to your lame ass. I was truly mad. All I kept thinking about was breaking your face, but I gave you a pass. You lucky I ain't wanna fuck the money up, boy, I would've broke you in half. Quit trying to be tough, you ain't like that. Why you keep showing off? Quit talking about drugs, you the only pack that I've been smoking on. I just hit my plug, told him come back, I'ma need more than one. Your last album was a weed trade, just some bullshit that we roll up on. You know what's on, put you to bed.
I don't even smoke. I don't even smoke weed. But I'm around a lot of smokers. So call his last album the weed trade, because you know, you smokers know. That's just some, when you're rolling up, you just grab like something not important, and that's what you roll up on. That's before, you know, they make trades now. I mean, I make trades too. I'm gonna have to drop that link later. But I said disrespect.
Ignite that Sudafed. Show me that I'm tender, bitch. Time to prove what you just said. R.I.P. take off. He the only real one that got true respect. Crazy how when he died, everybody really wished it was you instead. You tripping, Chris. Don't say that. Don't lose your head. You done turned a big bad wolf on these fuck niggas. Never knew revenge. This what happens when a fuck nigga push a real nigga out to the edge. This what happens when a dumb nigga get fame and it get to his head. You gon' kiss this ring, nigga. Big fuck you from my middle finger. I tattoo my trigger finger. Bring real beat to your dinner table. My mental state ain't never stable. I know this shit gon' sting, nigga. I ran your ass through the ringer, nigga. You just got bodied by a singer, nigga.
You just got bodied by a singer. I was like, oh. But that's what it is, y'all. That's what had happened. That's what had happened. Now, let's talk about this now. Because when I usually, if I get something wrong, I go back and revise my comment. I'm gonna revise my comment, but I still meant what I said. So I said in my last video about Carmichael had came out that he had made this joke about him and his white boyfriend, and he feel like it's like the slave master's son, and he teaching him how to read by candlelight. So he was given Dunkin' the other day by Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club. So the next day he ended up coming on to address that Charlamagne gave him Dunkin' the other day. Now the correction is that it was not role playing that him and his boyfriend that he said. What he said is that he felt like a slave because he's very well read, but his boyfriend reads so many books it makes him feel illiterate. I said that could have stayed like that. I don't know why we added slave pay up in there, but that was his main thing, to correct that this wasn't about sex. So I said, now this one I actually had to write down, take notes on, so we can go through the interview. The rest of it is going to be about the Charlamagne, about Jarrod Carmichael, and the things that I seen in this interview that I didn't like. So as I said, he gave him Dunkin' a day, that it wasn't about what you call it. So let's hear I think it got queued up so y'all can hear the joke. Yeah, wait. Yeah. So this is. Let me let y'all hear this joke because I couldn't find it last time when I reported on it. So let's hear this joke. No, let's clarify. And this is Donkey of the Day from the Breakfast Club, and they replay the joke, so that's why I'm playing this clip.
I sometimes joke to him that like our relationship is like
Really?
like that of like a slave and the master's son who like teaches me how to read by candlelight. Yeah, he groans too because he's a good person. He doesn't like that joke. I like that joke. That's my burden. I think that's hilarious. Yes, sir. Marie Antoinette, sir. I don't know what that is. You know, that's a joke. That's for me.
Jarrod, do you know what comes?
Now, that's the joke that he had. This is the rest of it is Charlamagne Donkey of the Day. Y'all could go and watch that. But when Jarrod come on there, he gets to talking about he spent a lot of time talking about his boyfriend and how he's a good person and he don't deserve to be talked about like that. If you watch the Donkey of the Day, it was about Jarrod. Didn't nobody say nothing about his boyfriend. The only thing that he could say was related to his boyfriend is that what Charlamagne's big problem was that Jarrod had just came out and said something about David Chappelle and how David Chappelle's legacy is the trans community and how he should do better. It was, I don't even think a week later, this thing is now, he's tagged to the slave joke. He gave him Donkey of the Day saying that as a comedian, you should know the industry and to come out and say that and judge another comedian like that. You never know when you're going to be in that spot. And now you're in that spot with this joke that you gave, what she felt like was a distasteful joke. Only thing he could that said that was related to his boyfriend is this the white eggplant that you want to down instead of saying the heel you want to down? And he said sucking the oppressor's eggplant. That was it. But like the way Carmichael came on there, and I said the way he came on there, let me play it. You would think that somebody said something about his boyfriend. They didn't. But let me play it. What his now this is the interview that he came on after Charlamagne gave him Donkey of the Day. He come up to clarify his jokes. Now let me go around 3 minutes in. He gets to talking about how his boyfriend is a human and deserve blah blah blah.
Leaving old toxic and negative energy.
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is all new on MTV.
Find some common ground on that, but he's a human being. He deserves respect. I deserve respect. I don't appreciate things being misreported or like said about him in that way. It's completely false. So I don't like that. I just want to make that clear. That's not something I know you were just reading the news, but like you're a friend and I want you to like actually have nuance with these stories. Like, look, I'm a human being and like people can get hurt. There are actually real lives at stake with the things that you say. And look, come after me. That's fine. But don't come after like my boyfriend who has.
I don't think we came at your boyfriend though. We knew it was about
well,
you.
I'm saying when that's in the headline and that's reported, like, and then misreported, like, oh, he's into race slave play with his white boyfriend. I don't like that headline because it's false. It's not true.
Even the headline he just said, if it's he into race straight play with his boy, that ain't got nothing to do with people coming after your boyfriend. That's about you, sir.
With all. Now, on to Dave Chappelle.
No, I want to stick to the joke though. In context, the joke's still not a good joke.
Yeah,
that's on you. Listen, I've been a professional comedian for a while. I got some
because you're still saying you're a slave.
No,
he's a slave
that
master.
joke, you know,
a slave.
Okay, so and I'm like, what the hell does him having to be a get human have to do with the price of cheap tea in China? It ain't got nothing to do with nothing better. Ain't nobody saying nothing about your boyfriend. But to be fair, he could be talking about what others had said, but in the Charlamagne video, it wasn't there. And from what I seen from Donkey of the Day and from most people commentary, ain't nobody saying nothing about the boyfriend. Everybody's talking about his butt. And it had nothing to do with his white boyfriend. And to try to change that narrative now that your ass is in hot water, And so Charlamagne tell him, even in context, it's still not a good joke. So Jarrod clarification of the slave play and how about him reading. So he go and he clarified what the actual joke. He clarified again. I want to let y'all hear his actual clarification of this about what the actual joke was about.
Like not being as well read. When I be in bed next to him and he's on his
I get what you're
third,
saying. The joke is about I get it.
When I'm in bed next to him and he's like on his third novel of the month, I'll be watching Breakfast Club interviews and I feel like, oh, I should read more. That's what the joke is. The joke, it has nothing to do with sex, has nothing to do with the type of sex that we have, and that's just absolutely false.
Okay, so I'm getting the feeling that he's more upset that that the incorrect statement about his sex life with his white boyfriend may be because he feels that gay men, people over sexualize the community. But I haven't seen his reality TV show. But according to his reality TV show, well, according to people who have watched it, his reality TV show, that first and second episode is all about him swiping on Tinders and hooking up with random white guys. A lot of it. Not, I shouldn't say the whole episode, but I heard it depicts it. You see it. So, okay, but Charlamagne tells him, okay, but it's still not a good joke. When you're black, Jarrod, like, Jarrod, like, well, that's on you because the crowd laughed.
Still not a good joke when you black and
hey, listen, that's on you. That's on you. You do stand up and you figure it out. For me,
and oh wait, because
the crowds laugh, whatever. I'll say this about
if the crowd is majority white, are they laughing with you or at you?
You know, it's funny. I'm actually shocked. There's like a pretty decent amount of black people coming.
So you heard what he said. He said if the crowd is majority white, are they laughing with you, then at you? Then he did exactly how Candace Owens did when she came on the Breakfast Club, where he made it appear like he answered the question because he said something after the question was asked, but he didn't actually answer the question. And what Shar said without actually, okay, the question was, if majority of the crowd is white, then are they laughing with you or at you? His response was, I'm actually shocked. There's pretty good amount of black people coming to see me. I'm like, wait, what? You didn't answer the question if the white people are laughing with you or against you. What you said was there's some black people are coming to see me now.
Coming out to see me. I really appreciate y'all for coming out. I want y'all to keep coming out too. End up and you figure it out. For me, the crowds laugh, whatever. I'll say this about
if the crowd is majority white, are they laughing with you or at you?
You know, it's funny. I'm actually shocked. There's like a pretty decent amount of black people coming out to see me. I really appreciate y'all for coming out. I want y'all to keep coming out too. I like the seeing it. Really, especially black women are like in the crowd. They've been like talking to me. They seem invested in my life, and it makes me feel really, really special. So I really
see what I said. You see how that didn't answer the question? Okay, but around 6:15. He goes to talk about what happened with him and David Chappelle.
For that, because one, I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan. I love Dave. Like I think he's brilliant. I think he's a bright light in a dying industry. I think he's more important now than ever before because like comedians are now just posting clips of them doing crowd work online and calling it art, and it's not art. Dave Chappelle is an artist. He's one of the few artists that we have, and I care deeply about the work that he makes. With that said, the criticism that I had nothing to do with the morality of the joke, had nothing to do with the ethics of the joke. That's something that's also been misreported. The criticism I had was that of a fan, someone who respects him so much that I want him to focus his genius on a wide range of topics. I think that like it started being really, really focused on one thing.
I disagree.
Well, I'll say this. Look,
that's like us saying that about the slave joke.
I'll say this. I'm also a big fan of Jay-Z.
And he said, and you see how Charlamagne said that's like us saying that about the slave joke, and he skipped right over that and was like, "Well, I say this. I'm a big fan of Jay-Z. If he makes 3 albums about trans, then I'm gonna be like, what's going on with Jay?" And Char came right back at him like, "Well, that's not true because Jay made plenty of albums about selling drugs." and you don't remember him for being a drug dealer. I'm like, clock it. I wouldn't play that.
See, if Jay-Z made 3 albums about trans people, I'd be like, hey, what's going on with Jay?
But Jay-Z made 3 albums, more than 3 albums about selling drugs. You don't label, you just don't put him in that. You don't pigeonhole him with that.
No, Jay-Z. I mean, listen, I would love to get to a Jay-Z argument. Jay-Z was very personal, very emotional. He always evolved. 444 was incredible because it showed growth and evolution and something you've never seen before in rap. And that's a thing with comedy too. Comedy doesn't grow.
You see, you still see how he went and switched it around. Yeah, Jay-Z was he grew and blah. He just said, tried to compare the two, but you didn't have an answer for it. But on a sad note, this is just me personally. But his argument against Dave Chappelle don't hold true because they made trans. He made comedy special that wasn't like all about trans. His entire special is not about trans people, especially like the first time I heard him mentioning this, where he had the story about the trans woman who was his friend, and he caught all types of, and that's when he initially taught all the crap about trans woman. Then and that was like he said that was him talking to make people aware of the trans people problem. And I said, I remember a joke when he was like the LGBT plus community was in the car, and like it's gay people, and like the trans would be the one in the back. So like, and that was to me, it was showing the that even in the gay community that trans people are discriminated against. But I'm not in the community, but for him saying that, oh, all his specials is about this one thing, and to me, I don't see that his whole special ain't a special about trans people. So then he goes into how Jay-Z have evolved as a rapper and comedy is not. He said comedy is dying and we need people like Dave to help it. And I have personal stories and deep perspectives. And Charlamagne was like, yeah, that's what they do. So I think Charlamagne is right about Dave giving personal stories and going deep. People just don't like the subject matter. At this point, he didn't have anything to reply back. So he ended and was like, honestly, I don't want to talk about Dave anymore. I know you don't, because you done dug a hole and your examples ain't working out again.
Comedy doesn't evolve. It's kind of stunted like rap, and like we just start getting like real braggadocious, like antagonistic with the crowd, and it can evolve. Like, and we need smart people like Dave, like Chris Rock, like myself, to actually evolve the art form because it is dying. It's so important for people to go up and do deep personal stories or have a deep perspective about things going on in the world, because it's not happening. You see it online. Yeah, I know. Well, listen, all I'm saying is, and because I've talked about Dave a lot.
Now, that's what he just said. Like, you talking about you need comedy to involve and have these deep personal stories. Charlamagne like, that's Dave, and he agreed with him. Yeah, I know. But then he's like, but I don't want to talk about Dave no more. So I'm like, man, he's the one who brought up Dave around 6 minutes and 15 seconds. This was around 8 minutes and 19 seconds. So it was roughly only two minutes that they talk about Dave. So I'm like, boy, stop. So he said his white boyfriend do need to give him a book, maybe on the, this is what, he didn't say that, y'all. This is what I said on my notes. I said his white boyfriend do maybe need to give him a book on debating, because making his points, the points that he, let me see. The points that he tried to make and they didn't hold true. I was like,
it's trash, bro. I go through, bro.
Trash. Now, he does apologize to Dave and say anything he has to say to Dave, he will call and say it to him. And I'm like, Royal, you just kind of reiterated what you had said and kind of stood by your comments you made about Dave by saying that whole little 2 minute spiel that he just gave, and how his specials are about trans and how comedy is dying and people like Dave need to go deeper to get his white. So I'm looking like, I think before you answered that question, you just should have said, me and Dave talk. I apologize. That was it. But anyway, then he said this is happening because the press is coming up to him, asking him about another black man comedian to keep this beef in the news, and it doesn't happen, to white comedians. And I'm like, that's facts. So why dive in it? Just say I don't want to talk about it, like he did 30 seconds ago to Charlamagne. So around 10 minutes, Charlamagne say, I don't feel like I want to apologize. So DJ Envy asked Charlamagne, okay, you gonna apologize to Jarrod for giving him Donkey of the Day? Charlamagne like, no, I don't feel like I want to apologize right now. Let me see if y'all can see it.
Now, Envy.
No, because I want you to apologize. But if you feel away, I think that Charlamagne, you should apologize to him as well.
I don't feel like I want to apologize.
Whoa.
Okay, that's not a diss. But it's just,
Whoa.
Wouldn't, don't you
All
like?
right, well, I'm taking my
Jarrod,
fucking candle back.
No, it's not just about him.
You're a sincere person.
I'm joking.
Would you want me to give you one of these half-ass bullshit industry? I don't feel like I need to apologize.
I think I made myself clear. I have no need for an apology.
Okay, so
that I like. I make things that I want the world to see. I focus all of my energy and attention on myself and my art and my work. And that's what I want to be known for. And I don't care. I'm not on Twitter talking about other comedians. I'm not on podcasts. I mean, you know me. I don't talk about anything but myself. Like that's why I'm upset that the whole thing got blown out of proportion, because I don't talk about anything other than myself. I'm so focused on my own work. I think it.
And I'm like, if he could have said that part before he answered the Dave Chappelle thing, and he would have been all right. So he learned, but he said he learned, and that's why he mad about it blowing out, because he's not like that. He's not that type, and he always just focus on him and what he's got going on. This one right here made me laugh. Let me let it play a little bit.
It's important. I think people should see it, and that's why I'm here.
Okay. Now you also talk about black women being super supportive when you first came out, but also being mad at you at the same time.
Oh, because I got a white boyfriend. Yeah, you know, it's funny. They met my boyfriend. They love him. Like my boyfriend.
That part. That I was like, he said black women were super supportive, but always also mad at him because he got a white boyfriend. I'm like, why in the do those black women care? He's gay. Hey, why would you care that he got a white? Ain't no, even if he had a black boyfriend, what difference does it make? He ain't playing for our team.
You gay. Johnny, gay. You gay.
So why do you? I said, what black woman? What black woman is mad at him about him dating his about him dating a white boy when he's gay? What do the women even care? I'm like, that's like me being upset that the clothing store don't carry a size 0. Bitch, I am big back, so I could care less if they carry a size 0. So no offense, this me personally. That to me, that comment was stupid. Well, and if there's any black woman who out there mad about it, crazy. But upset, maybe I don't care for it. And yeah, so it's like, I don't know why they care. I don't. So they go into his reality TV shows. I've never watched it, so let me summarize. He says the show is about him and trying to get his anxiety out, terrified of the kinds of sex he was having. In the first episode, he put a foot in his mouth. Literally, this is what he said. He put a foot in his mouth. He was getting AIDS tested every week, and states more straight people are getting HIV now than gay men, because straight people don't check on themselves like gay men. Gay men are up on their sexual health because they have to be. Now, y'all, that I new to the channel. I love statistics. I love numbers, like to analyze stuff. And yes, statistics and numbers can be made to look whichever way you want them if you manipulate the data. But you know, when he started to quote that, I was like, what? So my mind right away was like, that don't sound right. I said, it sounds right. It sounds right that the number of HIV or AIDS cases among heterosexuals are more than gays now. That may be possible, but I don't think because they go to the doctor more. Like, where you get this number from? I said, I think it would be more because because the number was higher in the gay population, that there was more resources out there for the gay community. And the medication PrEP is what I would assume, because you can't cut on the TV without saying a commercial, billboard, it's at the bus stop, everything for the PrEP medication. And it says on there that this medication was tested on male same-sex partner. However, you stated it's not for heterosexual sex. So, of course, so the medicine is not for heterosexual sex to prevent. So, of course, the numbers would go down if you have a medication to prevent that population from getting it. Like, that's like saying HPV has decreased in the last 10 years because people are fucking less. No. They have, like, no. That's like if somebody says that. Like, no, they have a shot against it now that kids start taking in like middle school to prevent HPV. Now people fucking less. Could we say? I'm like, no, if you say, oh, HPV going down, that must mean people are having sex less. No, because they some freaky motherfuckers. Y'all from Chicago, y'all done heard that song. So we some freaky motherfuckers. You can't go to a Chicago party without hearing that song. I was young hearing that song. And we go from parents who didn't, my mama had 7 kids. I know some of y'all, I know people who got 10 siblings, 15 siblings. So that don't, but it's like stating, just throwing stuff out there and saying it's from whatever reason. But let me get back into it. So I went and looked up a study. It's from the England, UK Health Security Agent that states for the first time in decades, the number of new HIV diagnosed among heterosexuals is higher than the gay. The website is tht.org.uk for those who want to look it up. So the first reason was due to the pandemic. Testings dropped among straights 33%, where they only went down around 7% for gays. That's the first reason that it's dropped. Man, he said it dropped because gays are more up on their sexual health than heterosexuals. First reason it dropped, according to this study, was because of the pandemic. And there was a big drop in heterosexuals going versus gays. There's drop, but not as much. So heterosexual was more likely to get diagnosed late due to belief that it's a gay disease. But the biggest reason is because gay and bi men were more impacted. So they was targeted for intervention and given the PrEP pill. So the PrEP pill is the reason that heterosexuals not going to the doctor. So target for intervention. When they said that the gay was targeted, let me see if I can pull up this article while I'm sitting here. So y'all won't think I'm just making shit up. So I'm just making this up. I thought I had sent it to myself, but I did. So y'all can look at the article. So I won't be pulling this out like she's just saying anything. There's the article. Can I get this out the way? See, heterosexual HIV, and this is where I'm getting all this information from. So it has the statistics, the surveys, the numbers. So y'all can go check that out if y'all want to go look at it instead of taking my word for it. So when they said that, they say in the article, another reason that the numbers are down for gays versus heterosexuals is because the gays was a targeted group. So I said, I don't know about everywhere else, but I know here in the United States, usually when you have a targeted group, it's like the government will create agencies, teams, they get funding just for a specific group and a specific cause. So this group would then go to neighborhoods like in Chicago. Maybe they'll go to Boys Town, because if you're from Chicago, north side is called Boys Town. That's where a big population of the gays are. So, and look, the gays, the LGBTQ community. Y'all know what I'm saying. And they will set up tables, they'll set up tables in Walgreens, or they'll go by clubs, the clubs up north. They may set up tables up at the club up north. They may give out free HIV testing. Some of them will give out condoms. And yeah, because the kits, the HIV kits could be now done at home, like similar to what they did for COVID, when you were able to get a free test and you could go home and take your results. So neighborhoods, because the gay community was the LGBTQ community was affected by this. If this was a targeted group, there's funds up in the government once a group is targeted for whatever, to have these funds there for different things like that. So that's what affect the number. There will be like specific clinics for AIDS, HIV, just like we had the COVID clinics and things that would diagnose people in the neighborhood. There'll be like free condom giveaway. The PEP pill was given away for free. So anyway, y'all, I just like to put some facts out there sometimes. But back to the interview. So he put his foot in his mouth for y'all. I think it was a joke, but he explains the takeaway, the sexual shame he felt, and many people feels he started doing these things on camera. Now, y'all, these are his words, not mine. So he gives Jess her flowers. They talk about him having feelings about his best friend Taylor. He said his boyfriend came. They talk about him having feelings about his best friend Taylor. His boyfriend came up a lot, y'all. But I said, in all fairness, at the beginning it was him who brought it up, but throughout the interview when it came up, it was the host asking him a question about his boyfriend. So he said his dad was nervous about his show, and his mom, who was an evangelist, said she didn't care as long as the word got out. He called his mom. I guess this is in the show, because he called his mom a bitch. He said it was jokingly, and the family and people came down on him. He feels rejected by his creator, which is his mom. And Charlamagne said people says his mom is homophobic, but he thinks she's more just super religious. That's what Charlamagne told Jarrod, that people think your mom is homophobic, but I think she's just a very religious person. Because also he says at the beginning of the interview that Charlamagne and Jarrod are from like the same areas, one from North Carolina and one's from South Carolina. And there's very religious people out there. So his mom saw the shows, and she saw all the hookups and said, I just want you to know your body is a temple. And he was like, Mom, I see what you put in your body, all those beanie weenies. Where I'm from, they call pork and beans and hot dogs. That's what we call pork and beans and hot dogs. And I'm like, I think that's hilarious because I think that I hope he uses. I said, I thought that joke right there, what he just said, with his mom telling him his body is a temple. And he said, I see all the stuff you put in your body while you worry about what I'm putting in man's. And I said, so stuff like that, I think he should use in a thing. That would have went over way better than your slave joke. So Charlamagne says in the show, he says he feel like he's a black buck in a cup, and says, I'm not going to lie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, what it's a black buck in a cup. So I had to go look it up, y'all. And it said, according to Wikipedia, black buck was a racial slur used to describe black men, usually tall or muscular, who refused to bend to the law of white authority and was seen as irredeemable, violent, and rude. He defied white will and was destructive to American society. He would be hot-tempered, excessively violent, unintelligent, and sexually attracted to white women. That's what a buck was used to mean. So Charlamagne asks, isn't that a racial component, like a part of you? You have to ask, why do I keep hooking up with all these white men? That's what Charlamagne asks Jarrod. Jarrod says, yeah, but there's all type of component like sex addiction. He lived most of his life terrified, and so he's putting himself out there so people can feel and see that it's okay. He's doing it now because after he came out the closet, he realized he's in the closet more than just about his sexuality, and he's using the show as a mean of expression. on the show. It shows him going through Grinder and just hooking up with various men. Jarrod say only different between him and his dad is he's not leaving all these kids behind. His sexual exploits. So Charlemagne, he agreed with Jarrod, and friends on the show says he feels like he is curated exposition of Jarrod's sexual exploits and don't see the truth that he's trying to reveal. Charlemagne asked why not go to the therapy, and the short answer was Karen, because he's using his show to get rid of all this anxiety, all this blah blah blah. So he ain't afraid of the sex he be having, and so Charlemagne like, well, why don't you just go get a therapist? And the short answer was like the camera give him courage. He wouldn't be able to face his mom, his dad, or be public about what it is he's doing without the cameras there. The cameras give him courage. You see how, and then he talked about in the show, you see in his reality show that Jarrod is a bad friend. His best friend, he was the best man for his friend wedding, and he showed up 1 hour late and compared the wedding to having to be at jury duty. So Jarrod says he learning through the show how selfish he is and how he was a bad friend, and he's exposing himself and he feels bad and he's growing. So Charlemagne asked for people saying he's an industry plant. He said, "What, Corey Holcomb? I wish he would focus his energy on his stand-up because he's so funny." I said, "Ain't that's nicey?" That's what I call it, nasty, nicey. That's one of those nasty, nice comments. Like, bless your heart. Oh, that baby, look at my baby. Oh, bless your baby heart. He got on a cute outfit. You know that Southern nice. You know that the women who got a nice way of saying some bullshit. My girl told me, baby, how big you gonna get? Oh, but he said, "Oh yeah, I wish he would focus on his stand-up because he is funny." But anyway, I laughed. He said he watched him when he was younger, thought he was funny. But I know his audience is like, man, don't that get old? So let me translate for y'all. He was like, while that ninja worry about me, he needs to worry about getting a new set because he been doing those same jokes since I was a kid, fam. That's my translation of what he said. So Jess agreed because her and Corey have had several beef for them going back and forth. So he said he would be an industry plant in a heartbeat, but he have had to work hard, and sometimes you get criticism from people who've made nothing. And I'm like, yeah, damn, shots fired again. He said if he could have sucked the eggplant to get to the top, he would have. And I'm like, okay. He said if I could have sucked the eggplant to get to the spots. Oh, I'm reading something. To the spots, then I would have. But he have worked hard, and okay. So then he go and clarify. He was saying it as a joke. He's like, I'm just joking. He said he was more successful straight than he was gay because he was already had his TV show, the Carmichael Show. Now that one I like. That was on NBC. He said coming out is scary. It makes you look at yourself and look at me. And if you are to criticize me, make sure coming out is scary. Look at yourself and look at me. And if you are to criticize me, make sure you are putting out art that you care about more than a podcast. I said, ooh, shots fired again, Corey. Make sure you make a tangible thing that people care about before you criticize me. Translation. This is my translation, y'all. You ain't doing shit with yourself. Look at you. You look dusty. You just on here doing a podcast and talking about nothing important. That you talking about nothing important that impact people. Get your life together, boy, before you come at me. I made a successful network TV show and stand up, and now a reality TV show that affects people while you just on podcasts talking about what everyone else is doing, affecting no one and doing nothing, okay? That's my translation. That ain't what he said. Did coming out as gay take off? So Charlamagne asked him, did coming out as gay take off the focus of everything he done? He said no, and Charlamagne hits him with the same thing he said to Dave Chappelle. But what comes up when I Google you is the slave stuff. So I did Google him, right? Let me show y'all the Google results. Because when I Googled him, I'm gonna tell you what it said when I Googled him. So I Googled him, and first it's Wikipedia that says his age. He's a stand-up comedian, actor, writer, filmmaker that released 3 stand-up on HBO. He co-created and co-wrote the NBA show, the Carmichael show. After that, it's a bunch of Tyler, the creator, addresses relationship with Jarrod when I click on Jarrod. So let me see. Let me see if it's still the same. So y'all can see what I'm saying is, yeah, Carmichael, news about Jarrod. And this is what, look, news about Jarrod. Jarrod Carmichael, slave joke, was taken out of context. Jarrod Carmichael, publicly regret David Chappelle criticism. Jarrod Carmichael, David Chappelle should focus on being genuine. And then the videos are coming out to Jarrod Carmichael and some of his stand-up. Jarrod Carmichael come out as gay. 5 truths about Jarrod Carmichael's his new reality TV show. So that's what comes up. So I just wanted to see, like, if you Google him, like he said for Dave, it comes up about the trans. I want to see what actually comes up when you Google Jarrod. So I didn't see anything about his white boyfriend, but when I first looked at it, see stuff about sexuality, but when I just look now, it is about his sexuality. So to be fair, I Googled Dave Chappelle. But that's what came up about. Let's see if trans stuff come up. And nothing trans, when I Googled it, nothing trans came up either. It says stand-up comedian, an actor. He starred in and co-created Chappelle Show, quit in the middle of the 3rd season before returning to stand-up, is what Wikipedia says. Funny is the top story for Jarrod. Okay, so let me see. Let me show y'all Dave Chappelle. See, have it changed. To be fair, no, that's the Wikipedia part I just worked. That's about his tickets. It's about what Jarrod Carmichael said about Dave. Videos of his stand-up. Videos of the Dave Chappelle Show. No tickets, shirts. So nothing about the trans is what. So the funniest, the top story for Jarrod was when I Googled it, it was Tyler, the creator, and for Dave, it was Jarrod saying the slave play joke was taken out of context, which has nothing to do with sex. And the second story is Dave announced his last minute show in London for this week. So they end up, the interview ends with them laughing, and Jarrod said, "Watch the show because I think it's funny." And Charlamagne said, "What type of funny? Ha ha funny, or you know?" And Jarrod said, "Man, y'all are so straight. Y'all are so straight." So yep, that's the end of that, y'all. What y'all think about that Breakfast Club interview and about everything that was talked about today, baby? Because we had to go through it. Let's see. Let me remove this one. Let's go back through what we talked about. Jarrod. We talked about what's her name? Karuchi, Saweetie, Quavo versus Chris Brown, GLOrilla. Do y'all think she was drunk on this video? Don't forget to like the video too, because we wrapping this up. Y'all think she was drunk on this video? The video y'all seen me play of the arrest, because it doesn't look like it to me. Then NBA Youngboy arrested again. The Dwight Howard and the bodyguard saying that he would go to the party with trans women. P. Diddy is now alleged of having a relationship with the Family Matter daddy Carl Winslow. That was a mouthful. That's a bunch of crazy, yeah. But let me get on out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. Let me know. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to talk about next. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow me on all the social media network. Don't forget fan base, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is all Tootie Talk Sense. I will catch y'all next time. Enjoy your Sunday so we can go get up and go to work tomorrow. Okay.